in a sense. Because I know the difference between delta and it's not a question of getting things wrong because we don't know. It was literally a typo. So I think
you made it into a teachable moment.
Yeah, it's a teachable moment. It's like a chance for everyone to get together and go, wait, is it delta capital or is it delta small? Like, what is this here?
You can learn from our mistakes.
Nice. Yeah, it's okay to fail.
Richard?
I've got two quick questions about things that might be unique to the online medium. And one is about pace. And on average, the pace of a YouTube video and delivery is just probably a little bit quicker than the average pace of a teacher in a classroom or any of those situations. I'm curious if there's anyone in the panel, if you have considerations about that, or if you have any considerations with all of your respective fame about the shareability of your videos, or is that something you are not concerned about anymore?
Pace, do I talk the fastest or does Henry talk the fastest?
We just recently did some, looked at some statistics for a minute, or because we have several different narrators. The speed that people talk and also the variability of how fast they talk in different videos. And it was really interesting to look at. It seemed like I was the fastest talker among all of our narrators. I think one of the reasons that people talk quickly on the internet, and I love YouTube's fast play at 1.25, 1.5 speed feature for this, because if somebody's talking too slowly, I speed them up. It's because you're watching a video, you're not a captive audience, you're not stuck in a classroom for an hour where you have to listen to somebody no matter how fast or slow they are. And the thing about it is that you can watch it again if you need to. So I don't think there's an issue with going, you need to be slow enough to be understood, but intelligible, but if somebody needs to watch something multiple times, they're probably going to need to watch it multiple times anyway, and so for me, I think that it has to do a lot with how we value people's time and how much information you actually can convey when you have the visual medium together with sound. You can actually get a lot, picture says 1,000 words or whatever, you can get a lot more across. If your picture is doing a really good job representing what you're talking about at the same time as you're saying it, then you don't have to say the thing as slowly because it's boring.
Well, I've had one comment in the past that really stuck with me. There were people who were saying that in some of my videos that weren't songs that I had a slower pace. And what some people said was that, well, this is good because English isn't my first language. So taking that into consideration, realizing that not everybody is going to know what you're saying right away, if you recognize that your audience likes it a little bit slower because of that, or because of any other reason, including just keeping that in mind will help with how you communicate facts or how fast you do it. Or there was one museum where I was doing the song That's Not a Dinosaur, and one of the security guards was just like, I have no idea what he's saying, because it was the first song where I changed up the flow and all of the words are kind of just interwoven together, and it wasn't fast, but it just sounded strange to him. He was like, I thought it was another language. So also make sure you have captions. Closed captions are very important because your viewers can then translate it as well.
You have a spring-loaded arm ready to go up right here. With the very finely manicured... Oh, in the brown shirt, red grape, sorry. He was slightly faster.
This is for anyone who wants to answer. I was just curious more about hearing more about your research process, how you start that. I know some people go straight to Google Scholar or Wikipedia sources. I was wondering what your individual processes are, how you research topics you may not know anything about.
You should pick someone.
My favorite thing to do is to buy books on the topic and then just read. And then that's when all the ideas just flowed into my head, and I can turn this into a rhyme. I can talk about Pluto and pizza and make it funny.
I have a trick where I try to never stay in, or I should say I try to always find points that connect to it, whether it's history or pop culture or funny things. So often I'll start in looking for something old or some old archive film, or what did they think about this 50 years ago, or is there some TV or music reference to these kind of things too. Another very eager hand in the blue shirt.
Thank you very much. As for Destin, in science you generally have to have your research and be confident in what you're doing, but there are other fields of education like language learning and art that kind of involve showing yourself learning in the process, and you do in your videos get your hands on these things. Is there something you would do in the process of showing somebody how something works that involves encouraging them to try as well?
I just try to set the example. I try not to go as far as to say, you need to do this too. Like Derek from Veritasium and I, we did the Coriolis test, and we said in the comments below, we were like, hey, we want other people to try this and either validate it or bunk it. And out of the 4 million views on there, I think 2 people reproduced that experiment, and it was like a $10 kiddie pool. I mean, it's easy to do. So I found that a lot of people are talkers, but very few actually take the extra step to do the doing part. And when they do, I always try to retweet or whatever it is. But I think in a world of talkers, it's important to be a thinker and a doer. I think that's key if you're going to be an explainer.
It's a great tagline. You should use that more.
I should use that.
Is there one more in the back? I want to give one more quick question in the back opportunity. Grace Sweatshirt right there. You're the farthest back of the hands. This will be the last one.
Thank you so much. My name is Kimberly Harrison. I'm from the channel Socratica. We make STEM videos. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for the work you do. I feel so glad that we're all on the same team trying to get good information out there. And I wanted to follow up with Dr. Samara's point earlier. She mentioned building a community. And I wanted to ask, how do you do this? How do you elevate the community? Because we sometimes get awful comments, like they just talk about our host and how beautiful she is. That's a nice one. They talk about really kind of things that are so off the point, and they're not thinking about the science. And what do you do to foster really good interactions with your viewers? How do you encourage them to make good points and to be intellectually open and honest and all of those good things?
No pressure, but you have like 30 seconds.
Okay. I think it's really important to always stick to the sole purpose of why we're making these videos in the first place, which is to explain physics. And so I'm not doing it to get good comments back. I'm doing these videos to make sure that I'm helping young people understand physics. And as long as every time I'm filming a video that that's my purpose, then I couldn't, I really couldn't care less about the negative comments, because they'll always be out there. So yeah, as long as people are getting it. I mean, my mum honestly is like the test for me, because my dad's a mechanical engineer, so when he watches it, he gets it. But if my mum doesn't understand it and she's really struggling with it, then I feel like I'm not doing my job right, because I want to be able to engage people who are not scientifically minded, who find that STEM subjects are a struggle. And if I make STEM engaging and fun and unintimidating, then I'm doing my job right. And yeah, there'll always be haters out there. So.
I want to thank all of you very much for joining us. Great questions. Hope you enjoyed the I did have some people on Twitter that asked they want to see this. So if you put this up, let us know. We'd love to see this. Yes, tweet us. Thank you very much.